Ad campaigns that every e-commerce should have. Let's go straight to the point. First of all, we should divide it between cold campaigns to people that don't know you. You're getting new eyeballs. You go to the mid funnel, like kind of warm, like lukewarm, if you have to put a terminology, which is they know you or they recognize you, your brands, your products, your ad, whatever, but they haven't bought it yet. The hot funnel is when they buy, like they almost gave you money. And remarketing is basically who buys once, buys twice. Let's crank some ads on them and let's make more money on it. Increase your AOV. Let's go. Mm, First things first. Well, some ideas to do in cold campaigns is basically announce to niche interests because you don't have them in your base. So first of all, you need to attract people who are interested or kind of interested in the products that you sell, right? So just an example, right? Target people interested in home gym, not just fitness, because fitness is such a broad market, it's such a broad market that it is very unlikely for you to find people who will buy your product. So just as an example, let's say that you sell gym clothing, right? Not everyone that's into fitness will buy your gym clothes. And not everyone that is into fitness is like would even be interested in buying gym clothes, right? It's such a broad market that you can advertise for them, but the the most of your ad campaign shouldn't be directed to such a broad market, right? And another example is use pain first creatives. So just an example, still working out at crowded gyms. Just an example, right? Gyms, basically, when they do not know you, you're either increasing their level of knowledge of, I forgot the term that Eugene Schwartz uses in breakthrough advertising, which is the book that talks about it, of levels of conscious. Yeah, conscious. They aren't that conscious about the problem. So your objective is to bring to increase your level of conscious by inflicting pain or selling pleasure, basically. And so let's keep going. Well, lookalike from buyers, because lookalike, that's basically it, right? Lookalike from buyers from 1 to 3%. Above 3%, it's kind of weird. You can get some different kind of publics, but when you're scaling, if you reach a certain point of your scaling, you just have to get, like, you just need to get more people. But that probably isn't your case, and there are ways that we can turn that around, basically. The meta still works when source is solid. Yeah, whatever. And some ideas is basically UGC or social proof angle code campaign. Social proof, because if they do not know your brand, they will be like, all right, that kind of solves my problem, or okay, I kind of see that as a problem, but who are you, right? Who are you to be selling me? But like, who are you, and why would I buy it from you instead of someone else? That's and that's also conscious, right? People do not think, they do not reflect that much on it, right? They do not reflect that much on this. It's also conscious. They do it subconsciously. So a good thing to do is to make some social proof here at the start and here at the mid funnel to break another objection. And basically showcase real people using the product in the first 3 seconds of the video, plus the hook, basically. Right. And you can make ads based on people's questions about the product. You can make ads based on people's thoughts about it. Like, Um, I just can't create an example right now because I'm trying to go fast here. And basically, a bonus tips was split between scroll stoppers, shock humor, and educational hooks. Self-explanatory. And when you go from the cold campaigns from people who do not know you at all, we go to the mid funnel. Basically, I know you from somewhere. Like I've seen an ad of yours, I've seen a content of yours, and now it's time for you to increase their level of conscious about the product, the problem, the product, and your company that is the one who solves the problem, right? It's basically I know you from somewhere, which is basically pixel data retargeting. We have that on Meta, we have that on Google, we have that on TikTok, we have that anywhere. And basically, you'll be doing retargeting on 180 days, 90, 60, 30, 14, and 7 days. Basically, you'll be retargeting people who have either watched or interacted with one of your ads or watched 40 plus percent. I'll explain later. But basically, they either watched 40 plus percent, interacted, or went into your website for the last week, 2 weeks, 4 weeks, or first month, 2 months, 3 months, and 6 months, basically. And you're running ads to these people to basically remember them. You're basically remember them. I exist. Here is still the problem that you're trying to solve, and here's the solution for the problem that you're trying to solve. Basically, use urgency or specific bundles for 7 to 14 days. That's a good strategy. That's a good strategy because they're hotter than the leads from 180 days, as an example, right? And sometimes people just need an excuse to buy. So if you give them an urgency or whatever coupon, whatever your cash flow can deal, uh, you can use it as a strategy to convert these first buyers. And testimonials and still thinking style for 30 to 90. Yeah, because here they still have your product, your ad set, your whatever in mind. On 30 days, it is very unlikely for them to even remember that much your product. So you just have to keep coming back, basically. And video retargeting. Why video view retargeting? Because if you're scrolling on whatever social media you're watching and you basically watched 40% of the video, 40% of, I don't know, a 30-second ad, that's 12 seconds, which means that you were scrolling, boom, boom, boom. You stopped 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You're not dumb scrolling at this point. Something got your attention. And if something got your attention, you're watching it at least. And if you're watching, it means that you're kind of interested. They at least thought, interesting. And that's basically showing relative interest. Otherwise, otherwise you'd have skipped before. That's basically it. In what I was talking about before, that complements extremely well with this thing is basically target people who liked, saved, commented, shared, anything, any kind of interaction with one of your posts, either organic or from the ads. If they interact with the ads, they're basically, it's very rare that they don't at least progress in the funnel and later buy it, right? And based on this thing, use ads that feel native to the platform, because if you're retargeting, if you look like an ad all the time, they will be like, shit, this company is targeting me. Like, this company is following me everywhere. And depending on the kind of product that you sell, you don't want to be You don't want to be the stalker, right? Basically. So it works, but it kind of feeds up the the audience, basically, right? But who cares? As long as we're making money, no care. And uh abandoned cart dynamic ads, basically. So this like product big dish plus layered with urgency and testimonial. If the person went into your website, actually they watched the ad, clicked on the button, let the website load. He clicked to add to cart. Like he basically read the whole copy and clicked read to put into cart. It's almost a sell. That's you did 90% of the work there already. But sometimes they need to be remembered because they put on cart and they see a notification popping off and they go to the notification. And when you see uh and almost like what would become a sell, basically just the guy just completely forgot about it, right? You need to remind people, basically, constantly reminding. The same thing with cold calls, that it happens a lot, right? And after progressing on the funnel, hot, they almost gave you money, basically. That's really close to the mid funnel. They kind of mix together, but it's good to separate so you have different kind of campaigns specifically. But basically, initiate checkout, the same example as here of abandoned cart. The initiate checkout, offer micro incentive or explain common objections. Don't leave your car waiting. This is just an example of an ad, right? Don't leave your car waiting. Buy now before prices increase. Here's the urgency, basically, slash micro incentive, right? The micro incentive can be fear. It can be, right, the the aspect of loss, right? Because if they're buying with the increased prices and they could have bought with cheap by like for less, they will kind of feel stupid, kind of feel dumb, and that's not our problem. They should have bought it before, basically, and that to make the kind of a remarketing, right? I know you've seen it, and I know that you want it. Come and get it. Just something just to remind the person, right? While you're showing the products, while the product is being used, whatever, right? And past purchases, cross sell, upsell campaigns. This this is kind of mixing with remarketing at this point, but it's almost they're all embedded with each other, right? All right. So here, basically, initiate checkout, micro incentives, don't leave your car waiting, blah blah, whatever, and past purchases. This is you're basically upselling those guys, right? And depending on the strategy that you use, you can get those clients here of past purchases basically for free if you use an email campaign or an SMS campaign. If you're running ads to remarketing, you're basically spending the same money, but you're kind of getting the CPM cheaper. But it depends. It depends. There are a lot of angles there, a lot of things for you to analyze further down the line. But basically, you could be doing some early access angles to basically the whales, like your top 5% buyers, right? You could kind of do an early access to a new product that you're going to launch, a new drop that you're going to launch, if you work with drops, right? Or a new products, a new line, whatever. Basically, early access so you can sell to them, like kind of cheaper or whatever. You decide it's your company, right? But some kind of early access so they can buy it earlier and you can validate. That's a good thing. See, you can validate if the new product is good with the whales, because if the whales wouldn't buy, why would like the normal people wouldn't buy, right? Basically, but that's talk for another day. And loyalty re-engagement. Campaign just for 180 plus day inactive customers. Hey, it's been a while. We've we've been working on something you love, and you show whatever they missed on the last 6 months and make them kind of feel that they missed out. Basically, you're selling FOMO to those guys here. And basically, let me put some things right here. Look at what you missed while you were away. It shows the new launches, products, etc. Right? And remarketing basically, who buys once buys twice. I really like this quote because it basically represents remarketing and upselling, cross selling, whatever. Who buys once, who buys twice? Because once they're in the buying trends is basically when they're already in it. They're already in the flow of giving giving their credit cards to you and spending money with you. It's easier. It's way easier to sell than to do it from scratch, from the start, whatever. So basically, view product but no purchase. This kind of goes into the initiate checkout here, right? But basically, your product but no purchase. Sometimes the obvious need to be done because sometimes people just forget stuff. They just forget stuff. They just leave it on scene. They just forget stuff. Things happen. Someone called him or someone asked for him to go to another place, another room, and they left their phone. Sometimes someone calls, and when you see he already got out of your website, there are many things that could have happened, right? So do the basic here, right? View product but no purchase. So show the exact product plus add urgency. Still thinking about is whatever prices are increasing tomorrow. Whatever. You do your thing, and we can help you with that. But if you're not our client yet, that's the most I can do for you at this point. And engage with posts, basically, right? Like, comment, share, and saved. Any kind of interaction. Set it up for 180, 90, 60, 30, 14, 7 days, just as I have explained to it before. Basically, run native view UGC. You saw it. Now here's why it is worth it. Basically, this video is all about the campaigns itself. It's not about the creatives. I can record other videos talking about creatives later down the line, but now focus on the campaigns. Like basically, if imagine that you're opening the business manager, the Meta business manager, and you're basically listing what kinds of campaigns that you should be making, right? Just taking a list, boom, 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 and basically watch 40+% of the video because it means that they weren't distracted. They were at least giving you half of their attention. And site visitors, that's 30, 14, 7 days. Weird stuff. And after all the talk, some general guidelines that work with any kind of ad campaign regardless of the platform. Google/YouTube, Meta on Facebook, on Instagram, Messenger if someone runs ads there, whatever. Taboola, TikTok ads, Spark, right? Whatever, doesn't matter. General guidelines that works with any kind of ad thing related. So first things first, test. The likelihood that the first 2 ads that you made were the absolute best that you could have done is basically zero. The likelihood of it is basically zero, right? It's very rare for you to hit a jackpot right on the first attempt. And even if it is, you can make better, like you can copy those ads and make slight twists in order for you to get a better conversion rate. down the line. But basically, your objective here is to make infinite creatives. So you can constantly test, and find the good ones, the ones that will bring you a 3 times ROAS, 5 times ROAS, a 7 times ROAS. Of course, that it depends of which point of scale that you're doing, right? If you're running like 5 million a month, or you're running like 500,000 on one specific ad, it is very rare for you to get a 7x ROAS, right? It reaches a point where it reaches a point of scale. But basically, when you're testing here, your objective is to find the good ones and duplicate them and create this, different versions of this ad set. You're you're trying to find the good ones. So basically, test, infinite creators, infinite ads. Uh, and here's a reflection, right? Have like while you were scrolling on social media, whatever, for personal use, you thought or saw something that you liked. You saw an organic content that you liked. You saw an ad that you liked. Straight away, make some ads based on it. You can make some ads based on it. You can react to the video, like the green screen type of thing. You can copy the same exact format but adapt it to your company, to your product. There are many things that you can do, and you can make infinite ads basically. And also, you can leverage AI and AI trends to make creators. The recent Ghibli style. It actually, you could have done basically this Ghibli style all the way, all the way. And that's just an example where we can leverage AI. And right now, there are things in AI that you can just get the picture of the product, right? Get the picture of the product and ask for it. Uh, Give me 10 variations of this water bottle in sand, in like in the beach with sand, whatever. And now I want 10 variations of this on the mountains while we're rock climbing, whatever. And AI makes it, right now. It reached a point where it is really good. And like you can run those ads really good, and they work. So don't miss out on AI trends. And basically, the whole strategy that you can use for long term and evergreen campaigns is basically the 12-12-12 strategy from Ty Lopez. I'll leave the link in the description if you guys want to watch the full content where he explains it, blah, blah, and stuff. But summing it all up is basically 12 creatives for 12 days in 12 cycles, 12 repetitions of this. So it's 12 creatives for 12 days, 12 times. So it is 144 days in total. Those ads are better for long and evergreen campaigns. Good thing. That's a really good strategy, because if you're running 12 ads in 12 cycles, you're making 144 ads. It just gets into a point where if you make 144 ads, you will find good ones. You will find good ones. It's very rare for you to make 12 creatives and you can even find one good ad. It's very rare. Unless you don't even know what you're doing. Like you have zero idea of what you're doing. Then that's another thing, another talk, whatever. But if you're making 12 creators, you will find 1, 2, maybe 3 good ones, and that's when you double down the money. And if you're doing that for 12 cycles, you're building your muscle of creating ads, and keep constantly watching ads and making better ads and thinking about the copy and thinking about the hook better. You will become you will make better ads at the end of the cycle. Imagine if you do 3, 4 of those cycles. You will become a monster, G. You become a monster, absolute monster. Facebook ads, monster. TikTok ads, monster, right? And a thing that he also does on this strategy he puts one ad per ad set. So you force Meta, Google, whatever, to spend the money in each ad itself. Because if you put like the 12 creatives in one ad set, the like probably the one or two best performing ads will just suck all the money out of it, and you can verify it. Like you can truly verify it if the ad is good but not as good as the other ones, right? I think that you got it. So it's better to separate. So you force Meta to deliver it, and you force Meta to test it to see if it's a good ad or not, right? And amazing to test ad ideas. What what does the market want? That's basically the whole every like the whole strategy behind the 12 strategy, which is you are going to discover what does the market want. What are the pains of the market? What are the pleasures of the market? What are they looking for? What are they looking for? What they aren't looking for. That's almost as important as what they're looking for. It's basically it, right? You're you're discovering what does the market want, and you're selling, you're making and testing your ads so you best fit to what does the market want, basically, right? And if you want me to make the strategy for your business, for your ecom, for your company overall, right? Because there are people who watch here who don't have an ecom, but you have a you have an info product business. You basically you sell information, you sell courses, you sell packs, you sell whatever kind of thing that you sell. We can help with that. Anything related to digital marketing, we're doubling down, right? Basically, we can do ads, we can do email marketing for you guys, we can do a whole marketing strategy for you guys. So basically, if you want our help, book a call below and we'll be glad to help you out. See you there. Oops, see you there.